Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to today's training. So I'm guessing you're here because you own a Facebook group, and for whatever reason, one reason or the other, your Facebook's died. Your Facebook group has died. Your growth has stopped, and there's little, if any, engagement going on. But you're here because you're not ready to give up. You're looking for a strategy that's going to help you to bring your group back to life. And so you can start bringing in new group members every week. You can start getting them, keeping them engaged, and then you can actually turn them into clients, which is probably what you're all here for. So that's what I'm going to help you to do today. So I'm going to go through the exact strategies that I use to grow my group from 600 members, where it just sat for 6 months straight, to now 3,300 members, and how I used that group to actually generate $357,000 last year. So I'm going to give you all those strategies. And now my group is thriving. And again, I'm making, mid six figures with the group. So before we get into all that, I want to know where you guys are at. Let me know where you're joining from. We're going live right now in the Facebook group. We're also going live on YouTube and LinkedIn. So let me know where you're joining from. Also, there is a link in the description of, if you're on Facebook, there's a link in the description that says StreamYard. And if you click on that link, I can actually see your comments, your name in the comment section. So I'd greatly appreciate you guys if you click on that link and kind of let me know where you're joining in from. Also, if you have a Facebook group, now's your chance. I'm going to give you a chance right now to drop your link to your Facebook group in the comment section. Other people can check it out if they want. I'll be able to check it out, see what you guys are doing, keep up with you guys. So let me know where you're at. And if you have your LinkedIn or your Facebook group link, then you can drop it into the comment section. Okay. So before we get started, pretty surprised when I started promoting this actual live stream. So there's a lot of you out there. So you're not alone if you've got a dead Facebook group. This was actually one of the most popular live streams that we've promoted so far. So this is an extremely common problem that people have. There's a lot of people out there that are teaching these kind of fluff tactics that to keep your group engaged, but it doesn't really do anything to help you to actually grow your business. And so what happens is you're putting all this effort, all this time into creating all this fluff content. It's not helping you grow your business. So you're kind of losing motivation, and then you stop posting, and then you think your group's dead. And it's just a vicious cycle because you are really not helping. It's not helping you to grow your business. So you've tried a lot of these different fluff tactics, and you end up just getting burned out. You lose motivation, and now your group's just been sitting there for a while, and you just think you've given up hope. But you're on this call, so you haven't completely given up. And like I mentioned before, I took a dead group. Literally, it sat there for 6 months with 600 people in it. I hadn't posted anything, and there was no engagement, nothing going on. And I grew it to 3,300 members now. And again, it helped me to make $357,000 last year. So honestly, it's actually not as hard as you guys are think. A lot of people overcomplicate this stuff. So I'm going to show you a pretty easy and simple strategy to help you to get that thing going again, get it engaged, and actually start making money from it. So, and also I'm going to give you a strategy that you can do it with minimal effort on your part, so you don't get yourself burnt out again. Okay. So who is this for? Well, my goal for this training is to help two different types of people. So for those of you that just have a dead group simply because you didn't really know how to actually grow the group. You didn't know how to bring in consistent new members every single week, then your group, just kind of sits there because it wasn't growing. No new members are coming in, and you just kind of lost focus on it. But something in you at some point thought it was a good idea. Maybe you thought it would help you grow your business. So you haven't given up hope yet. And I'm going to help you to give you some strategies that are going to help you to bring in people on a consistent basis. It's also going to help you to create engagement from the get-go, and also turn those people into paying customers, and with minimal effort on your part. So for those of you that have a group, maybe you've built it up to a good number of members and a decent size, but your problem is you just don't know how to keep your members engaged, and you don't know how to turn those members into paying customers. Well, we're going to fix that today. My goal is to give you a very simple strategy that's really easy to execute. It literally takes me about 2 hours per week, and that's going to help you to grow and sustain your group. It's going to keep it engaged, and it's also going to help you to turn it into actual money for your business. Okay. So if you're just starting out a group, I also want to help you guys. We're going to give you a strategy that you can launch right from the beginning that's going to help you to grow your group, keep it engaged, and also get clients from it. So let me know in the comments. I'm super interested in where you guys are with your group. Which category do you fall into? If you're here, your group's probably dead or you wouldn't be here, right? So are you someone that could never really get it off the ground? You weren't able to grow the group and that's your problem? Give me an A if that's you. If you're the type of person that grew your group pretty large, but you just couldn't keep it engaged and you couldn't actually turn it into clients, let me know if that's you. Type a B into the comment section. So 1 is you couldn't grow it. B is you just couldn't keep it engaged and couldn't monetize it. Or if you're just starting out, drop me a C below. And I'm gonna take a sip of water while you guys do that. All right, so we got some people just starting out. Kyle's killing it, but we're gonna help him kill it more. So we got some people that couldn't grow it, okay? Cool. We're going to fix all those problems today, so get ready. All right. So today I'm going to share my screen and we'll get started. Can everybody see my screen? Drop me a 1 in the chat if you can see my screen. All right. Well, I'm hoping. Okay, there we go. All right. Today I'm going to show you how I was able to revive my dead Facebook group after 6 months of sitting idle. And I was able to add 2,700 members and generate $357,000 last year. And it's 100% possible. And it's actually easier, a lot easier than you think. Okay. So today's agenda, here's what we're going to be going through. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the #1 mistake most people make with their Facebook groups that are killing their engagement. Okay. The #2 thing that we're going to talk about today is how to optimize your group from the start so that you can keep members active and engaged. And then #3, we're going to talk about the real secret to reviving your dead group. And this is going to blow your mind. And then the 4th thing that we're going to talk about is I'm going to give you a simple 3-step system to turn your Facebook group from dead and unengaged to a thriving client getting asset for your business. So that's what we're going to go through today. And now if any point in this training you hear, you like what you hear and you're the type of person that wants to move a little faster, you want to get results faster, at any time during this training, you can drop the word audit below and myself or somebody from my team is going to actually reach out and we can book a group audit call with you. And on that call, what we're going to do is we're going to audit your group against our 5-point group monetization checklist so that we can spot where your bottlenecks are right now. And then we can map out a 90-day plan for you, customized to where you are in your situation so that you can start to actually monetize your group. So if anytime you want to book one of those calls, we do about 10 of those a week. So drop audit below so you can get one of those spots and we'll book that call with you. Okay. So, all right. So first of all, who's this Ron dude? Well, my name is Ron Medlin and I've been building 6-figure businesses since 2010. I've built about 5 of them now. And each time I've done it faster and more efficiently. So the first business that I started was in 2010. And I scaled a agency to about mid 6 figures in about 11 months. So later in that year, I actually lost that business, about 90% of my business, because Google changed their algorithm and all of my clients lost their rankings overnight. I had to tuck my tail between my legs and go and apologize to all these clients. It was awful. Never wanted to do that again. So I learned my lesson and I started learning inbound marketing from HubSpot, if you guys are familiar with that tool, and went really well. Built my second agency up to mid 6 figures again within 4 months of partnering with a gold level VAR of HubSpot. We built that up pretty substantially. Then that partnership kind of turned ugly, and so we broke up that partnership. Then I decided I was kind of tired of being an entrepreneur, and I ended up becoming the director of digital marketing for a PR firm, which I actually got fired from the day before Thanksgiving. So that was fun, but I actually hated that job. I could not stand being, stuck under fluorescent lights all day. I felt like a caged animal. Just could not stand working for somebody. So after that, I quickly learned. I scaled my third 6-figure agency, and we were working with yoga studios. And this time I did it in about 7 months. And obviously, we all know that COVID happened, wiped that agency out. So I had to start from scratch again. That's when I built my now business, which is my current coaching program and my VA business. And now we've also grown that to 6 figures and climbing in about 12 months, 10 months. And these are just pictures of me on my little trips throughout that history. So also during that time, I've been very blessed to work with some really awesome people, plenty of 2 Comma Club award winners like Marley Jack, Steve Larson. I've also worked with Sean and Chris at FlowChat. I've worked with Chris Weiser. I've worked with Justin Ingram and several other just high 6 and 7 figure coaches to help them build out similar client acquisition systems, manage their virtual assistants, and those types of things. And all of that experience has helped me to kind of build my own frameworks. And those are some of the things that we're going to teach you today. So before we get into the training, I wanted to talk about why Facebook groups. I believe that Facebook groups are still a massive opportunity in 2023 and beyond. And, there's a lot of different options for marketing out there. And you guys probably have Facebook groups or you wouldn't be on this call, so you know a lot of this stuff. But here's a graph of all the social networks and the number of monthly active users that each one of them have. So you can look here and you can see that Facebook just blows the rest away. Honestly, they've got way more users than anybody else out there. YouTube's pretty close and they're probably climbing, but Facebook is a powerhouse. Okay. So if you're not marketing on Facebook, you're probably missing out. Your audience is most likely on Facebook. So if we can agree on Facebook, then let's talk about why I believe that Facebook groups are so powerful. Well, building a community has become a major initiative across all different industries. Some of the largest organizations in the world are really focused on building communities. I think as of 2021, there's a stat out there that says 86% of organizations agreed that community is critical to their mission. 69% were planning on increasing their budget to maximize their community building strategy. And then in 2022, between 79 and 95% of companies had dedicated community teams, and they've been increasing their budgets all along. Not to mention that Facebook has made it a major priority for the platform. So they've even gone as far as creating a specific community for Facebook group owners. And they've also been testing and adding a bunch of different features that help owners grow and manage their groups. You can check out that facebook.com community, highly suggested. You can get all the new features that are coming out and news about that kind of stuff. But really, the bottom line is that Facebook is focused on helping community owners or group owners grow their groups, because they know that as people join groups, the more people that are in groups, they stay on the platform longer and that they can make more ad revenue from that. So they're very invested in groups because people stay on the platform longer. And I think you'll all agree that if we follow Facebook's lead and then use the features that they want us to use, then we can make more money in our business. Okay. So a little pro tip for you there. Just follow Facebook's lead, use the features they want you to, and you will make more money. All right. So the number one mistake that most people make that kills their Facebook groups is, well, first of all, I think that everybody on here is probably overcomplicating and overthinking everything, which we all tend to do as entrepreneurs, but hopefully we can solve all that today. But really the major mistake that I see most people make when they've started their Facebook groups is they're not 100% clear on who they help or how they help them. And they're not clear on their offer, essentially, is what that means. So for those of you that have been around my group for a while, you've probably seen a lot of evolution. Okay. When I first started my group, I kind of had an idea, sorta, that I was but I wasn't 100% clear. Okay. So I had a partner at the time. We were teaching agencies how to get clients, how to basically do prospecting. And we had a VA business. So we would use the group to feed that VA business. So I still have the VA business, by the way, if anybody needs VAs for doing DM outreach. But then after a while, me and my partner kind of parted ways, and we had grown the group to about 600 people, and they just sat there for 6 months. Literally, I didn't do anything in that group for 6 months. The same group you're in now, if you're watching this in the group. And then the next iteration, I came back and I started trying to help people sell high ticket courses, using Go High Level, which I'm also still very good at. I've got a lot of skills in that area as well, but it didn't really quite align with what I was good at, what I wanted to do. So eventually I started to look at all the things that I was good at and all the resources that I could provide people and to help them to get results faster, to get with less effort. And I started to get super clear on my offer probably about 6 or 7 months ago. And until that, I was, and then once I got very clear on my offer, I was all in on just promoting that offer. And now, the group is all around helping online experts grow six-figure businesses using Facebook groups. That's my offer. Okay. Now we've got little different offers that kind of align with that, but that's my core offer. So at this point, when I went all in on that offer, that's really when everything started to change. And that's when you will really start to grow your group, and your group will start to flourish once you get super clear on that. And I totally believe that will happen for each and every one of you once you get clear on your offer. So before I got clear, my marketing was kind of incohesive. It left all my potential clients kind of confused because I was confused. I didn't really know what I was offering. It also led me to waste a lot of time creating fluff content because I really didn't know what to post about, and I was scared my group would die if I didn't post anything. So I'm guessing. Let me know below if anybody has ever felt that way, that you just think your Facebook group is going to disappear. The algorithm's never going to show your content again if you're not just posting constantly. Well, it's not true, but I did have that feeling. So. And the truth is that it would probably be better to post nothing than to post fluff content. We're going to talk about that here in a second. So because I thought I had to post this fluff content and consistently and constantly post content in my group, I got overwhelmed and I got burnt out. So trying to create an unsustainable content calendar. And so I just kind of gave up. I lost motivation. And I also wasn't getting enough sales opportunities, again, because all my content was just all over the place. And I wasn't booking enough calls because people didn't really know what I did. And therefore, I wasn't growing my business through that. So I had unstable income. I had a lot of anxiety and fear around if I was going to be able to make this happen, if I was going to have to get another job again. And all of that led to me losing motivation with the group to keep it going. And so I found another shiny ball and I started following that. And then my group just sat there for months. Okay. So long story short, you need clarity around exactly who you help and how you help them. So ask yourself right now, are you crystal clear on exactly who you help and how you help them? If not, then you need to take some time and figure that out and get to the point where you're all in on what you're doing before you worry about trying to revive your dead group. Because if you're trying to revive it and you're still all over the place, you're not going to get the results that are going to keep you motivated, keep you fueled, and actually help you to create, keep it going. Okay. So let's walk through a little exercise to help you with that. Okay. All right. So hopefully at this point, you at least know who you help. But the thing that I would kind of think about, because I talk to people all the time about this, is that think about whether you're going too broad with your audience. If I were to ask you, who do you help? And you would come back to me and say, hey, I help small business owners, or I help entrepreneurs, or I help busy women. I would say to you that you need to go a little bit deeper. You need to get more granular and zero in on the exact person in your mind that you help. Okay. So because you need to know that person intimately, because what we're going to be talking about here in a second is how you create content for that person. So you need to know that person intimately, and not in a weird way, but as it relates to your offer. So you need to know their problems and challenges that your offer can solve. You need to know the false beliefs that they've developed over time that are holding them back from, solving that problem. And then you need to know their desires and dream outcomes that your offer is going to actually help them achieve. Okay. So once you know exactly who you help and you really understand that person deeply, the next step that I take my clients to is to help them map out the steps of their product or service. Okay. So you can just get out a Google Doc and you can do this and start outlining all the steps your program takes people through to go from their current state over here with the frowny face all the way to, and then in this state, they're not satisfied, they're unhappy, they're in an undesirable situation. And then they're going to go through these steps until they reach their desired outcome, where they've got the things they want, they're satisfied, they're happy. And then all these steps in between are the steps of your product and service that take them and fill that gap for them from where they are now to where they want to be. So your product fills that gap. So a structure that I found super useful is a 9-step product roadmap. This comes from a guy named Aaron Fletcher, awesome marketer. But essentially, this is my product roadmap. You can see on the left, we've got 3 different stages or pillars on the left here, and each stage is made up of 3 steps they need to move through before they can go to the next stage of the process. So it creates a very structured product roadmap, and it's easy to follow the graphic so that your ideal customers can see themselves kind of walking through this process to their desired outcome. So you don't have to have 9 steps. Don't worry about that. You don't have to force it. The important thing here is just getting down on paper or something the steps that you take people through to get to their desired outcome. Okay. So once you've kind of got that all mapped out, this is still my product roadmap. The next thing we want to do is we want to identify the hot steps in your product roadmap. Now, when I say hot steps, these are the steps in my product roadmap that I know my ideal customers are most interested in consuming content around. Okay. Are the most interesting things that's going to bring them into my world because it's going to capture their attention. So, for example, I know that there's a lot of people out there that struggle with what to say and when to say it in the DMs so that they can actually book more phone calls. So we have a system that we've created, and we have software that we use to help people to manage that process. And we have scripts that are proven to actually help people book appointments. So we help them solve that problem. And then that's one of the things that we create content around. I also know that content is a big pain point. People want to know how to create it faster, more efficiently, and content that gets clients. So we have our infinite content machine that we also create content around that helps them create that faster, more efficiently, and actually it helps them to get clients because it's on target, it's aligned with their product roadmap. So I know my product roadmap, and I know the hot steps in that product roadmap that people are going to be interested in. I know the hot buttons of my target audience because I was my target audience. Okay. So these are going to become the topics that we create and we do content around in our group. Okay. So now that we kind of know basically what we're going to be creating content around, and everything that we create in the group is going to be aligned with our offer so that we don't create fluff content. We're not creating content that confuses our audience. Now that we've got that and we understand that, we've got our topics. Now we want to make sure that our group is optimized so that we are, once you have, you're clear on your offer and you're ready to start reviving your dead group and start making money with it. Let's talk about how you can optimize that group, that once people come into the group, you can keep members active and keep them engaged right from the get-go. Okay. So I'm going to share with you a system that creates a perpetual engagement cycle of engagement, which leads to warm DM conversations, which is ultimately the goal that we're trying to accomplish. And this also will help you to easy to close sales calls, because these are going to be warm DM conversations, and we'll show you how we do that. Okay. So this is where what we call the group profits flywheel, and I'll kind of show you how it works. So I won't go into all of this because I want to keep this training focused on reviving your dead Facebook group. But here's how the group profit flywheel kind of works. First of all, I use my Facebook profile to funnel leads into my group. Once they join my group, I have several opportunities to generate engagement and appointments. The first method that we use to generate appointments is my membership questions. So I have a question that helps me to, first of all, segment my audience to give them a more personalized experience inside of my group. And then we also have a question that directly asks them if they want to book a group audit call to find out where their bottlenecks are in their group, and then map out a 90-day plan to help them get past that bottleneck and then start to monetize their Facebook groups. By the way, if you want one of those audit calls, you can drop audit in the comments right now. So we tag, now if they say, depending on how they answer that question about booking the group audit call, if they say yes, we'll just try to go book a call right away in the DM. If they say no, then we've got the next part of our process, which is our welcome post, where we can actually both generate engagement for the actual algorithm itself, and we can also book sales calls from our welcome post strategy as well. And I'll go deeper into this in just a second. Now, once they're in the group, we use our live stream events, just like you're on right now, which I promote out to my list. I also promote on social media, to my social media following, to get as many people to watch and engage with this live stream as possible. And I encourage engagement throughout this live stream so that we can have those DM conversations that are warmer, they're more qualified, and then we can keep the group, engaged and growing, and also booking appointments from it. So I call this the Group Profits Flywheel because it's creating a perpetual cycle of engagement that then feeds the algorithm to keep the group active. And the engagement is key because that's what's going to drive the DM conversations, which is much easier to convert than than going out and just pitch slapping people or cold messaging strangers. And we actually book 90% of our calls from the DM. So everything you do should be focused on generating engagement and DM conversations in your group. Now, and then those calls that you create from your group are going to be easier to convert into clients now, because a majority of those people that you get on Zoom now, they know exactly what you offer because all of your content is aligned with your offer, and they're getting on the call understanding that you have something that could help them potentially solve a problem. Okay, I'm getting a message that the training is frozen. Is it frozen for everyone, or is it just that particular person? Let me know if this is freezing up for everybody. Okay, so now this is the Group Profit Flywheel, and then all of that engagement that we are generating throughout this Group Profit Flywheel leads to DM conversations, and then that leads to appointments that are easier to close, and then we close those and turn it into revenue. Okay, so let's talk about some low effort perpetual engagement. So this is where our welcome posts come into play. Okay, so this is one of the pieces of the Group Profits Flywheel that will help you to create a perpetual flow of engagement and DM conversations with minimal effort on your part. I'm going to take a quick swig. All right, so we use both a static welcome post that everyone that comes into the group gets tagged on, and we also use the weekly welcome post that you can go into the member section, and then you can create a welcome post for all the new members that join the group that week, and they're automatically tagged on that post. And in each of these posts, I have a lead magnet embedded in that post, in my welcome post, where all new members, they can actually comment on that post to get access to the lead magnet, which gets them into my automated client acquisition system, which is my high level. And then in that system, we can nurture them via email, via text, but also we can, when they comment on this particular post, that will also open up DM conversations where we can also book phone calls. So now I'm trying to book them. I can book them on calls on multiple different channels. So that is a way that you can generate a consistent and perpetual flow of engagement to keep your group engaged, and it's minimal effort on your part. You're just tagging people on a post, essentially. All right, so are y'all ready for the real secret to reviving your dead group? And it's actually pretty simple. So type yes if you want to hear it, and it's going to blow your mind. Give me a yes before I move on. I'm going to take another swig. I need some yeses if we're going to move on. All right, cool. Got enough yeses. All right. Here it is, the big reveal. Add new members. I know, it's mind-blowing, isn't it? So it's simple, but it's true. If you're consistently and constantly bringing in new people into your group, and they're in your target audience, and then you're creating content that they find valuable, it really doesn't matter if your group is dead. You can totally revive it, because my guess is that most people in here, if you think your group is dead, it's either because you never focused on growing the group, or you never knew how, Or maybe you had members and you knew how to grow the group and get people in, but you just didn't know what to post. So you posted fluff content. It didn't really apply to your offer. It wasn't really interesting to your target audience. And so you weren't getting results from it. So you ended up getting burned out. And since you got burned out, you got unmotivated, you stopped posting, and then engagement dropped, and then nothing was happening. And so all of a sudden you assume that your group is dead and there's really no way of reviving it. Well, the truth is, if you're bringing new people in, you're creating content they love, they're going to engage with it. Okay. That happened. That's exactly what happened for me. And I totally believe it will happen for you. So if that sounds familiar and you're somebody who, you thought it was dead because you really just weren't really aligned with your offer, you weren't posting content that your clients were interested in. If that's you, let me know if I'm on the right track saying that, because I honestly believe that's probably what the case is here. All right. So let's go through this one by one then. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to add new members to grow your group. Okay. That's what step one is. So there are two categories of methods that you can use to do that. There's two ways you can grow your group. There's organic methods, right? And there's paid methods. So for this training, I'm just going to focus on a few of the organic methods, but we use paid strategies as well. They're extremely powerful, but a lot of you guys probably don't have budget for that yet. And you definitely need to have a budget for testing and getting the ads going and before you're going to get any sales. So I'm just going to go through the organic methods. We'll probably do another training on the paid methods at some point, but we'll stick with the organic stuff for now. So method number one is pretty simple. Just invite your list. If you've been generating leads for any amount of time and you've built up a list of emails and phone numbers, just send out a simple text and email and give those people a compelling reason to actually join your group. So that's pretty simple, right? Next method is to simply invite your friends in Messenger. So you've been building up a network of friends on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, wherever you have an audience. You can simply go out and you can send a message to those people, start a conversation. Don't be weird. Don't go straight for the pitch for the group. Build up some rapport. And then at some point, once you've built up a little rapport, give them a compelling reason to come and join your group. Okay. So you don't have to be just somebody that comes in and pitches, just have a normal conversation. And by the way, there's some actual benefit from having that back and forth conversation. When you do that and Facebook sees you having a back and forth conversation in Messenger, plus they know that you're friends, you've liked some of their content, they've liked your content, they're going to start seeing more of your content in their news feed. And if they didn't come through in the DM conversation and when you invited them in that way, they could come come into your group through some of your content. So that's not you're not hurting yourself by starting just a regular conversation with this person without pitching. Okay. So the next method that you can use to grow your group is using the blue invite button inside of the group. So you have two options here. You can either invite your Facebook friends. Again, if you are trying to, and I didn't mention this before, but if you're trying to grow your Facebook group and you're doing it organically without ads, you're going to have to use your Facebook profile, not your business page, your Facebook profile, because you can really only message people without them messaging you first through your Facebook profile. Okay. And also the content from Facebook profiles show up in the newsfeed a lot more than business pages. So organically, you're going to need to use your Facebook profile. So you need to be constantly adding new friends every single day to your network so that you can get more people to see your content, but also start more conversations with people. So once you start doing that and you're adding people in your target audience, you have two options to invite them using the invite button. So you can either send invites to your friends. I like to do about 70 of these invites per day. I do 35 in the morning, 35 in the evening, and that helps me grow the group very fast. The second option is to invite people to your group via email. So again, if you have that list, you can use this method as well. And the email is actually going to come from Facebook instead of you. So that's another way to kind of get them to join the group if they didn't from your email. So obviously you can use your emails from your list your leads and customers that you've built over time. But I also have a little hack that can help you to quickly get a list of emails from your target audience. So to do that, this little hack is there are tools out there that will allow you to scrape data from LinkedIn, like name and email, email address, and phone number. One of those tools that I like to use is a tool called Expandy.io. And the way it works is basically you would build a targeted list with Sales Navigator, which is their premium product, LinkedIn's premium product. You have a lot of filters that you can basically create a very targeted list of people, of LinkedIn users. And then you can use Expandy to scrape that list, and you can get the emails. Not everybody on that list is going to have their email and phone number on their profile, but a good portion of those people will. So you can scrape that list, and then you can use the invite by email feature in your Facebook group to invite the people on that list 30 at a time to your Facebook group. So that's a little hack if you don't have a list yet and you want to start getting people into the group, okay? The next and final method that we're going to talk about here is we can invite people into your group using a two-step post. Now, and this is simply just a two-step post to promote your group. So you may have seen these types of posts before. If you're not familiar, this is basically where you have a little catchy hook to capture your audience's attention, and you generate interest around whatever you're promoting, whether that's a lead magnet, your Facebook group, a live stream, whatever the case may be. And if it's compelling enough, then they just need to comment below to get access to that. So you can see back, I think this is over a year ago, I made this post, and you can see I got 61 comments. That's 61 people that I can reach out to and invite into my Facebook group to help kickstart the growth, okay? So that's one of the techniques that you can also use to grow your group. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually walk you through my favorite strategy that accomplishes everything, okay? Not only does it grow your group and give them a content that they love, but it also keeps the group engaged while also helping you acquire clients at the same time. So it's going to become probably one of your most powerful tools with trying to grow and monetize and revive your dead group. So I'm going to share with you the 3 Facebook posts I use to constantly and consistently add new members to the group, generate massive engagement inside of the group, while also filling my calendar with sales calls that actually close on a high percentage because they're warm, they have a problem that I solve, okay? And the best part about it is that you can actually execute this strategy in as little as 2 hours per month, okay? I did a full training on how I promote all this stuff a couple of weeks ago, so I'm not going to go super in depth on this, but you can actually find that training in the group, or you can shoot me a message and I'll send you the link. So let's talk about the 3 posts that we use to do this. So post number 1 is the event post. So this is actually the post or the event that I created for this particular live stream. So I create these events, and then the cool thing about group events is that you can invite 500 of your group members every single time, multiple times a day, probably around 1,500 total in a day, to get them to come and actually, to notify them that you're going live in a couple of days. So I want to get as many people as possible raising their hand and saying they're attending this event, because now I have a piece of software called GroupFuel that I can import all those people in, and then I can follow up with a conversation because they've raised their hand and they've shown me that they have a problem that I can help solve, okay? Next post, and here are some examples so you can see that this strategy gets pretty consistent results. So, this is the one from this week, and we've got one from a few weeks ago, and then another one from several other weeks ago. And you can see that these are just consistent over time. And the good thing about this is that the numbers are just going to keep growing and growing, because as I bring more people in and I grow my group, then more people are going to attend my live streams. I'm going to have more DM conversations. I'm going to book more phone calls, and I'm going to get more clients. So again, it all goes back to growing people into your group, adding more people in group, and then creating content that they want to see. Okay. So the second type of post I use is my 2-step post promoting my live event in my Facebook group. So I created my live event. Now I'm going to post on my profile a 2-step post that we just talked about, promoting that live stream. So again, if this is an example of a 2-step post that I actually promoted this live stream about? So this is 192 comments. That's not 192 new people. You know, some of that is me replying, but that's, you know, 100 people now that I can reach out into the DMs to try to book a phone call. And if I just get 10% of those, that's 10 phone calls. That's, you know, fills my week for phone calls. Okay. So this is, and you can see this engagement is not only engagement on some fluff post, this is a post that's aligned with my offer. So this is people that are raising their hand telling me, hey, I've got this problem that I know you solve. Okay. So that's giving me a lot of information that I can take to that DM conversation to help, you know, convince them to jump on a call with me. Okay. So that's post number 2. And here are a bunch of examples to kind of show you again that this gets consistent results. So there's one from, I did about how I made $357 from, not $357, $357,000 from my Facebook group without any ads. Here's one we did on my client getting content planner. Okay. Here's one on my Facebook group monetization checklist. Now, also, are you noticing that everything is pretty aligned with my offer, my group profits mastermind, which is my core program? So everything's fairly aligned with that. Okay. So these are all people raising their hands, showing that they have a problem that I can help them solve. Okay. So here is the final post, and that is the live stream itself. And as you can see, over the last 2 posts that we just went through, all of those other posts are promoting this now live stream post, and they're leading people to this live stream post. And if we've done our job right, we've got as many people as possible on this live stream training, and they can also watch the replay. And I can give a ton of value here. I can build up a lot of goodwill that warms up my audience. It builds trust, builds authority, and then inches them one step closer to becoming a client. And then it also creates that engagement that can be then transitioned to DM conversations and then booked appointments and ultimately clients. So here again is examples of these live streams. You can see 76 comments there, 70 comments there, 124 comments, 124 comments, 249 comments, and 127 comments. And then if you think about it, all these other posts, the event posts, the 2-step post, and now the live stream, I'm gathering up all that engagement. I'm importing it into my Group Fuel social tool, where I can then start to DM these people and start to try to book phone calls for it. So this is over 100 people almost every time that I can reach out to and try to book phone calls, and they're all qualified. They all have a problem that I can help them solve. Okay. So again, that's it. That's everything you need to revive your dead Facebook group. And the best part about it is that you can start implementing this stuff right away. It's not hard. I've given you the system that you can execute, and I've given you a very easy to implement system that you can actually do in less than 2 hours per week. But if you're somebody who wants to go faster and have us map everything out for you, have us audit your Facebook group on your current situation, and then build out a roadmap for you to start monetizing your group a lot faster, then comment audit below, and we'll reach out and we'll book one of our group audit calls. On this call, we're going to actually audit your Facebook group against our 5-point checklist. We're going to figure out where your bottlenecks are, and then we're going to come up with a customized plan to help you blow through those bottlenecks and then start monetizing your group. So if you are interested in that, drop a comment audit below, and we'll reach out and book a call with you. With that, that's basically the end of the presentation. I will stick around and answer any questions you guys have if you had any questions. Anybody got questions? All right, no questions? All right. Well, if there's no other questions, then we'll end it for the day, but I will definitely take questions. Okay. The live stream method is on my profile. It's actually in the group. Whoever this is, if you just want to shoot me a message, I'll make sure and tag you on the post. Yeah, man. Welcome, Sean. Good to see you. And in the group, or both. The live stream promotional training is in the group. Yeah, Kyle, I'll send you this. You can. I don't know if everybody can. Yeah, man. Or whoever that is. I have to build up my guides and trainings before I'm ready for an audit. Okay, no worries. Do you sprinkle in value posts or you focus on just these posts? I can, I do occasionally. I'm much better. I'm not better on video, but it's much easier for me to create video than it is to write stuff out. So I sprinkle in some different kinds of posts every once in a while when I feel motivated, to be honest, but I really do stick pretty much to these 3 posts. There are other posts that I can kind of sprinkle in that might help, but I want to give you a system that's just easy to execute. I think a lot of people just overcomplicate and think you have to be creating all this content, but if you really just create high value content, it works. Trust me. I think my biggest thing is what I need to have in place once I get my client on the call. Still working that out. I think so yeah, your offer, right? So you're still, that's what I was kind of talking about before, is getting super clear on your offer. And we can definitely help with that if that's something you're interested in. Yeah, that will hold you back and keep you in analysis paralysis mode for a really long time. Trust me. So once you kind of figure that out and you're all in on that, man, it's a good feeling. Trust me. All right. Any other questions? All right, y'all. Well, this was awesome. Thank y'all for showing up. I hope y'all got a lot of value out of it. And I hope I start seeing you guys start using these techniques, and I want to see some wins. Okay. So go out there, implement this stuff, and watch. It'll happen. Okay. So hopefully you guys got a lot of value out of this, and we will see y'all next time. Thanks for showing up, and y'all have a great day.